Welcome to rSlash Am I the Butthole, where OP exposes his cheating girlfriend during her birthday party. Am I the butthole for lying to my husband that my sister is cooking the food that he pays $750 a week for when it's me who cooks? So, my sister is a personal chef for some upper middle class families, mostly lawyers and doctors who work 24/7 but still want home-cooked healthy meals. My husband always complained about my disgusting food, and he called me worthless in the kitchen. Every time we were invited to my sister's or my mom's, he would bite my head off about how they were better. I know for a fact that I'm as good, if not better, because I was taught by the same chef, my mom, who's a literal genius with food. I had it up to here with him, so I said, fine, we can pay my sister for her dinner. So for a year now, he's been paying me $750 to pay my sister. When he comes home, he starts raving about how the whole apartment smells amazing from the delivered food, and that only now he started looking forward to coming home for dinner. And yeah, it does smell amazing, but that's because the food is made by me in my kitchen. The only thing that's changed is I put my sister's name on it and I bag the money. Haha, not even sorry. He's happy, I'm richer, and my sister finds the whole thing amusing. Everyone wins. My sister offered me to work for her too. I like this. So the top comment from Cassowary is, but why are you still married to this butthole? And then Beach in Life replies, she's getting rich. Yeah, $750 over 4 weeks and a month. That's $3,000 a month. Not too shabby considering she was doing it for free before. In any event, I don't know what the deal is with your husband, OP. He's got some sort of weird, I think, jealousy. Maybe he's envious because he secretly wants to be with a sister instead of you, or he just likes putting down his wife. I don't really know. Either way, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. This is pretty funny, to be honest. And I'm giving your husband 2 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for divorcing my husband because he spent 10 minutes in the car during a family emergency? I've been with my husband for 2 years. He has a habit of sitting in the car for 5 to 10 minutes before entering the house. I don't know why he does it, but he talked about a past traumatic experience that he had when he came home and caught his ex cheating on him. Because of that, he'll just spend a few minutes in his car before he enters his home as a response to his trauma. Now, I won't say that he's wrong in coping with what happened, but this has made me feel uneasy, and it's caused many fights between us. Like, when we have guests, he'll sit outside before coming in, or we'll have dinner waiting on him and he'll take 10 minutes silently sitting in the car. I've been worried that something might come up and he doesn't respond properly, and it just happened last week. My 8-year-old son tripped and fell from the stairs and broke his ankle. He was in so much pain, and I called my husband to come take him to the hospital, and he rushed out of work. But then I called, and I was stunned when I looked out the window and I saw him sitting outside the house in his car. I was both shocked and angry. I ran outside and asked how long he was sitting in the car for. He told me, 8 minutes. I asked why he didn't come into the house immediately to help, and he said that he would after 2 more minutes. I was so mad and hurt, but I tried to rush him, and he insisted that he wouldn't feel comfortable coming in until the 10 minutes were up. He told me to get my son ready to take him to the hospital, but I started screaming at him nonstop, telling him this was a family emergency and that he was out of his mind to behave like that. I might not have given the best response, but I was shocked by his behavior and quite concerned because I had this situation always stuck in the back of my mind, thinking, what would my husband do if there was a family emergency? I ended up taking my son by myself when the neighbor intervened and offered to take us. We went to the hospital, and later my husband came and tried to talk to me, but I refused. I then went to stay with my mom and texted my husband that I wanted a divorce. He tried to rationalize and justify what he'd done, saying that he couldn't help it, and that he was nervous and wanted to help, but he felt stuck. I refused to reply to his messages, and days later, his family literally harassed me, saying that I was making my husband's trauma more severe, and that I disrespected his boundaries by pushing him off his limits. I feel lost and unable to think because of this whole ordeal. My family's with me on this, but they can be biased sometimes. My husband is still trying to basically talk me out of divorce, saying that I'm making a huge deal out of it. I feel like I no longer have any trust in him, especially when it comes to serious stuff like how cold he acted in a family emergency. Yeah, the top comment is pretty much echoing my exact thoughts here. This sounds like OCD or some kind of compulsive behavior that he literally can't stop. So your husband needs serious therapy because this is very troubling. But even then, I'm on your side, OP, because the number one most important thing about being a husband in a family is you have to protect your family. So part of me wants to say at least try to get him into therapy before divorcing because I feel like this isn't like a bad personality thing. I think he's just sick and he needs help. So I would encourage you to be there for him, but if he resists therapy or if things don't improve, then yeah, divorce. OP, I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your husband 3 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for how I reacted when my parents surprised my 16-year-old little sister with a new car for her birthday after she finished her cancer treatment? But they bought me a $25 gift card and a book for my birthday, which was just 2 weeks later. My sister was diagnosed with cancer last year. It's been hard on our family, and even harder on her. I love my sister, and I tried to be there for her as best as I could. I also did everything I could do to make things easier for my parents. I took over all the chores, I cooked every day, I cleaned the house, did laundry, took care of my younger siblings, and babysat them more. Luckily, my sister's doing really well, and she's recently finished her treatment, which is great and we're all grateful. Our birthdays are 2 weeks apart, and hers was 2 weeks ago. My parents bought her a new car to celebrate after everything she went through, which I understand. She does deserve it, but I was a bit surprised because I thought that they didn't have any money. My dad has been unwilling to help me get a used car since last year, telling me that they don't have the money. I don't even want my dad to pay for all of it. I've been saving up, and I just wanted them to help me with the rest, but he kept telling me that they have no money for that. Well, my birthday just rolled around, and my parents bought me a book that I mentioned in passing, and a $25 takeout gift card to a place that I like. I thanked them, but they saw that I wasn't too thrilled and asked me what was wrong. I told them that while I appreciate the gifts, I thought that they were finally going to help me with the remaining $800 for buying the used cars, seeing that they could now afford a car for my sister. But that's when they accused me of being jealous of my sister, who had just gone through something very traumatic, and that I was trying to make everything about me, and why couldn't I just be happy for her? They said that at the end of the day, I have a job and could just continue saving. Am I the butthole? Down in the comments, the first question is, how old are you and what did you get for your 16th birthday? OP replies, I'm 19 and I got new headphones. Yeah, OP, this is pretty infuriating. I can understand your parents' impulse to give some kind of celebration or reward, but the best way to do that is to, throw a party that everyone can enjoy or go on a family vacation, not to pour effectively $5,000, $10,000, however much into the one sister at the expense of the other siblings. OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your parents 2 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for exposing my cheating girlfriend at her birthday party? I'm a 27-year-old guy, and I've been with my girlfriend Sarah, who's 26, for 3 years. All this time, I thought things were going great between us. We had already talked about moving in together and making our relationship formal. An engagement and wedding, all that stuff. However, a few months ago, she started to have some weird characteristics that were unlike her, like coming home late and drunk, being secretive with her phone, and making excuses to avoid spending time together. For like a week, I tried to figure out where all this was coming from. And to make it worse, I was starting to think that I was the reason she was behaving like that. One night, while she was drunk asleep, I went through her phone and I checked her chats with her best friend because that's where all the secrets were. I was shocked to find out that she was having an affair with one of my friends. I confronted her about it and she denied everything, even when I showed her the messages. She said they were just joking around and that I was being paranoid. I didn't buy it, but I didn't push further. So last week was her birthday party. Everyone was invited, including my friend, lol. I said to myself that I could keep hurting and pretending that I'm okay. So after the eating and dancing, it was time to talk. Everyone took turns talking about my girlfriend. And when it was my turn, I talked about trust and loyalty. And then I dropped the bombshell. I let everyone know that she was cheating and even sent the messages to her birthday group so everyone could see. Everyone was shocked while she felt embarrassed and ran out crying. Her family and friends came at me for humiliating her on her precious day. I left shortly after, feeling a mix of anger and relief. Now, my phone keeps getting notifications from her friends, calling me all sorts of names. But I feel like she deserved it for betraying my trust. So, am I the butthole for exposing my cheating girlfriend at her birthday party? This is one of those situations where there is going to be some division because some people will say, you're being petty here and being petty is wrong, you should take the high road, where other people will say you deserve it. Now, on this YouTube channel, we like to read r/pro-revenge, r/nuclear-revenge, r/petty-revenge, so it should be pretty clear that I'm in favor of getting a bit of revenge now and then. So personally, I think you're justified, OP. I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your cheating girlfriend 3 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for telling my friend that most women wouldn't marry him and mocking his minimum wage job? I'm a short guy, around 5'4" to 5'5". I'm in my 30s. My friend Ian is around 6'1". I met him some time ago at an event, and although he's really good looking, he works as a waiter at a restaurant. On the other hand, I make quite a lot, to put it mildly. Ian has a girlfriend, Julia. We were hanging out at his place yesterday along with some of his other friends. I absolutely loathe alcohol, but the others were getting drunk and began to make jokes. One of the jokes was about how short I was and that I'm still single. Ian said, "Dude, I'm not surprised that you're still single. You're really short, and most women would pass on you immediately." The others laughed, including Julia. I was momentarily startled, but then snapped, "At least I don't struggle to make ends meet and work a minimum wage job." I added, "Most women won't consider you marriage material, by the way." Ian got extremely mad and began to argue with me, and so did the others. We had a huge verbal sparring. I told him to F off, and he left the place. Am I the butthole? Man, a lot of stories of hypocrites today. He can dish it out, but he can't take it. What a loser. OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving Ian 1 out of 5 buttholes. Also, I wouldn't call that a joke. That's just an insult. That's just being mean. There's no punchline. There's no setup. There's no funny play on words. It's just, haha, you're short. That's why you're single. What a loser. That's just not a joke. A joke would be like, OP, you're always trying to find a girl, but somehow you always end up coming up short. It's still mean. It's not a nice joke, but at least there's a punchline. Am I the butthole? My sister is blowing up my phone trying to keep my mouth shut. I'm a 26-year-old woman, and I just witnessed my 32-year-old sister destroy her family and marriage. And now she's blowing up my phone to keep me quiet. A bit of context, growing up, me and my sister were never too close due to an age gap and a messy divorce when I was 10 and she was 16. Our dad cheated on our mom, and we were the ones to find out when we came home early from school. I wanted to tell our mom, but my sister begged me not to. I remember telling my mom like it was yesterday, and my sister never really forgave me. After the divorce, our lives blew up. We moved a couple cities away with our mom, and we had to start over brand new. It was especially hard for my sister because she had to leave all of her friends right before senior year. As we've aged, she's slowly gotten over it. She even asked me to be her bridesmaid, which obviously I said yes to. My brother-in-law is the epitome of a golden retriever boy. He's very nice and caring, but doesn't have a lot going on in his head. He works a 9-to-5 job while my sister stays home. A couple months ago, my sister was in a really low place, saying that she was bored and unhappy with her relationship. But recently, she's been as happy as ever. She just chalked up the change to seasonal depression. I was in the city for work this week where my sister lives, and I thought that I would visit her. I decided to surprise her with a sister brunch. When I got to her house, I saw a truck in the driveway, which was not my brother-in-law's, but I thought nothing of it since she's been doing a lot of construction on the house recently. The door was unlocked, and I don't even want to describe what I walked in on. My sister was scrambling to find something to cover up while a random man just stared at me in shock, butt naked. I already felt the tears streaming down my face as I turned around and walked out the door. My sister's been calling and texting me nonstop, begging me to talk to her. I don't know who she is at this point. I thought that our dad cheating taught her how infidelity can ruin people's lives. I can't support her, and I'm disgusted with what she's done. I'm crying in my car, and I don't know what to do. Please help me, Reddit. OP, I have personally walked in on the act of someone cheating. It wasn't like my girlfriend, but it was two people that I knew, and I knew the person being cheated on. And it was one of the hardest things that I ever did. But that same day, I told the person being cheated on the truth. Well, more accurately, I told the people involved that either they could tell the person or I would tell the person, but it was going to happen that day, and they told them. So I think you just gotta do it, OP. Also, I have to read this comment from Pokemon Spec Hottie. Not the butthole, but I'm going to let you know that her blaming you for your parents' divorce means she's probably going to blame you for the end of her relationship as well. You say that she should have learned that cheating ruins people's lives, but to her, you ruin people's lives. This is obvious nonsense, but then people are nonsensical. Yep, OP, I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your sister 3.5 out of 5 buttholes. That was rSlash Am I the Butthole, and if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.